And I continue with habit 2. Begin with the end in mind, identifying roles and goals. Of course, the logical, verbal left brain becomes important also as you attempt to capture your right brain images, feelings, and pictures in the words of a written mission statement. Just as breathing exercises help integrate body and mind, writing is a kind of psychoneural muscular activity which helps bridge and integrate the conscious and subconscious minds. Writing distills, crystallizes, and clarifies thought and helps break the whole into parts. We each have a number of different roles in our lives, different areas or capacities in which we have responsibility. I may, for example, have a role as an individual, a husband, a father, a teacher, a church member, and a businessman. And each of these roles is important. One of the major problems that arises when people work to become more effective in life is that they don't think broadly enough. They lose the sense of proportion, the balance, the natural ecology necessary to effective living. They may get consumed by work and neglect personal health in the name of professional success. They may neglect the most precious relationships in their lives. Amanda's picking up. I'm going to have to roll this window up just a little bit. There we go. Now I'm watching the ducks playing on the water there. Alright, you may find that your mission statement will be much more balanced, much easier to work with if you break it down into the specific role areas of your life and the goals you want to accomplish in each area. Look at your professional role. You might be a salesperson or a manager or a product developer. What are you about in that area? What are the values that should guide you? Think of your personal roles. Oh my goodness. Think of your personal roles: husband, wife, father, mother, neighbor, friend. What are you about in those roles? What is important to you? Think of community roles: the political arena, public service, volunteer organizations. One executive has used the idea of roles and goals to create the following mission statement. My mission is to live with integrity and to make a difference in the lives of others. And then to fulfill his mission, I have charity. I seek out and love the one, each one regardless of his situation. I sacrifice. I devote my time, talents, and resources to my mission. I inspire. I teach by example that we are all children of a loving being and that every Goliath can be overcome. I am impactful. What I do makes a difference in the lives of others. And then these roles take priority in achieving my mission. Husband. My partner is the most important person in my life. Together we contribute the fruits of harmony, industry, charity, and thrift. Father. I help my children experience progressively greater joy in their lives. Son, brother. I am frequently there for support and love. Christian. God can count on me to keep my covenants and to serve his other children. Neighbor. The love of Christ is visible through my actions towards others. Change agent. I am a catalyst for developing high performance in large organizations. Scholar. I learn important new things every day. Writing your mission statement in terms of the important roles in your life gives you balance and harmony. It keeps each role clearly before you. You can review your roles frequently to make sure that you don't get totally absorbed by one role to the exclusion of others that are equally or even more important in your life. After you identify your various roles, then you can think about the long-term goals you want to accomplish in each of those roles. We're into the right brain again, using imagination, creativity, conscience, and inspiration. If these goals are the extension of a mission statement based on correct principles, they will be vitally different from the goals people normally set. They will be in harmony with correct principles, with the natural laws, which gives you greater power to achieve them. They are not someone else's goals that you have absorbed. They are your goals. They reflect your deepest values, your unique talent, your sense of mission, and they grow out of your chosen roles in life. An effective goal focuses primarily on results rather than activity. It identifies where you want to be and, in the process, helps you determine where you are. It gives you important information on how to get there, and it tells you when you have arrived. It unifies your efforts and energy. It gives meaning and purpose to all you do, and it can finally translate itself into daily activities so that you are proactive. You are in charge of your life. You are making happen each day the things that will enable you to fulfill your personal mission statement. Roles and goals give structure and organized direction to your personal mission. If you don't yet have a personal mission statement, it is a great place to begin. Just identifying the various areas of your life and the 2 or 3 important results you feel you should accomplish in each area to move ahead gives you an overall perspective of your life and a sense of direction. As we move into habit 3, we'll go into greater depth in the area of short-term goals. The important application at this point is to identify roles and long-term goals as they relate to your personal mission statement. These roles and goals will provide the foundation for effective goal setting and achieving when we get to habit 3, day-to-day management of life and time. The next one is family mission statements. Because habit 2 is based on principle, it has broad application. In addition to individuals, families, service groups, and organizations of all kinds become significantly more effective as they begin with the end in mind. Many families are managed on the basis of crisis, moods, quick fixes, and instant gratification, not on sound principles. Symptoms surface whenever stress and pressure mount. People become cynical, critical, or silent, or they start yelling and overreacting. Children who observe these kinds of behavior grow up thinking the only way to solve problems is flight or fight. The core of any family is what is changeless, what is always going to be there, shared vision and values. By writing a family mission statement, you give expression to its true foundation. This mission statement becomes its constitution, the standard, the criterion for evaluation and decision making. It gives continuity and unity to the family as well as direction. When individual values are harmonized with those of the family, members work together for common purposes that are deeply felt. Again, the process is as important as the product. The very process of writing and refining a mission statement becomes a key way to improve the family. Working together to create a mission statement builds the PC capacity to live it. By getting input from every family member, drafting a statement, getting feedback, revising it, and using wording from different family members, you get the family talking, communicating on things that really matter deeply. The best mission statements are the results of family members coming together in a spirit of mutual respect, expressing their different views, and working together to create something greater than any one individual could do alone. Periodic review to expand perspective, shift emphasis or direction, amend or give new meaning to time-worn phrases can keep the family united in common values and purposes. The mission statement becomes the framework for thinking, for governing the family. When the problems and crises come, the Constitution is there to remind family members of the things that matter most and to provide direction for problem solving and decision making based on correct principles. In our home, we put our mission statement up on a wall in the family room so that we can look at it and monitor ourselves daily. When we read the phrases about the sounds of love in our home, order, responsible independence, cooperation, helpfulness, meeting needs, developing talents, showing interest in each other's talents, and giving service to others, it gives us some criteria to know how we're doing in the things that matter most to us as a family. When we plan our family goals and activities, we say, in light of these principles, what are the goals we're going to work on? What are our action plans to accomplish our goals and actualize these values? We review the statement frequently and rework goals and jobs twice a year, in September and June, the beginning of school and the end of school, to reflect the situation as it is, to improve it, to strengthen it. It renews us. It recommits us to what we believe in and what we stand for. Well, guys, we got 4 pages left, but I think it'll be more than 6 minutes. We'll see. If I get cut off, then I'll just continue. If I make it, then woohoo! We did it together. Those ducks are in a little open spot out there that they've made. Trying to keep the sun in their shot. All right. Organizational mission statements. Mission statements are also vital to successful organizations. One of the most important thrusts of my work with organizations is to assist them in developing effective mission statements. And to be effective, that statement has to come from within the bowels of the organization. Everyone should participate in a meaningful way, not just the top strategy planners. but everyone. Once again, the involvement process is as important as the written product and is the key to its use. Okay. I am always intrigued whenever I go to IBM and watch the training process there. Time and time again, I see the leadership of the organization come into a group and say that IBM stands for three things: the dignity of the individual, excellence, and service. These things represent...
I didn't get that. Could you...
Oh, sorry. Phone decided to chime in. The dignity of the individual, excellence, and service. These things represent the belief system of IBM. Everything else will change, but these three things will not change. Almost like osmosis, this belief system has spread throughout the entire organization, providing a tremendous base of shared values and personal security for everyone that works there. Once I was training a group of people for IBM in New York. It was a small group, about 20 people, and one of them became ill. He called his wife in California, who expressed concern because his illness required special treatment. The IBM people responsible for the training session arranged to have him taken to an excellent hospital with medical specialists in the disease, but they could sense that his wife was uncertain and really wanted him home where their personal physician could handle the problem, so they decided to get him home. Concerned about the time involved in driving him to the airport and waiting for a commercial plane, they brought in a helicopter, flew him to the airport, and hired a special plane just to take this man to California. I don't know what costs that involved. My guess would be many thousands of dollars. But IBM believes in the dignity of the individual. That's what the company stands for. To those present, that experience represented its belief system and was no surprise. I was impressed. At another time, I was scheduled to train 175 shopping center managers at a particular hotel. I was amazed at the level of service there. It wasn't a cosmetic thing. It was evident at all levels, spontaneously, without supervision. I arrived quite late, checked in, and asked if room service were available. The man at the desk said, "No, Mr. Covey, but if you're interested, I could go back and get a sandwich or a salad or whatever you'd like that we have in the kitchen." His attitude was one of total concern about my comfort and welfare. "Would you like to see your convention room?" he continued. "Do you have everything you need? What can I do for you? I am here to serve you." There was no supervisor there checking up. This man was sincere. The next day I was in the middle of a presentation when I discovered that I didn't have all the colored markers I needed. So I went out into the hall during the brief break and found a bellboy running to another convention. "I've got a problem," I said. "I'm here training a group of managers and I only have a short break. I need some more colored pens." He whipped around and almost came to attention. He glanced at my name tag and said, "Mr. Covey, I will solve your problem." He didn't say, "I don't know where to go," or, "We'll go and check at the front desk." He just took care of it, and he made me feel like it was his privilege to do so. Later, I was in the side lobby looking at some of the art objects. Someone from the hotel came up to me and said, "Mr. Covey, would you like to see a book that describes the art objects in this hotel?" How anticipatory, how service-oriented. I next observed one of the employees high up on a ladder, cleaning windows in the lobby. From his vantage point, he saw a woman having a little difficulty in the garden with her walker. She hadn't really fallen, and she was with other people. But he climbed down the ladder, went outside, helped the woman in the lobby, and saw that she was properly taken care of. Then he went back and finished cleaning the windows. I wanted to find out how this organization had created a culture where people bought so deeply into the value of customer service. I interviewed housekeepers, waitresses, bellboys in that hotel, and found that this attitude had impregnated the minds, hearts, and attitudes of every employee there. I went through the back door into the kitchen, where I saw the central value: uncompromising, personalized service. I finally went to the manager and said, "My business is helping organizations develop a powerful team character, a team culture. I am amazed at what you have here." "Do you want to know the real key?" he inquired. He pulled out the mission statement for the hotel chain. After reading it, I acknowledged, "That's an impressive statement, but I know many companies that have impressive mission statements." "Do you want to see the one for this hotel?" he asked. "Do you mean you developed one just for this hotel?" "Yes." "Different from the one for the hotel chain?" "Yes. It's in harmony with that statement, but this one pertains to our situation, our environment, our time." He handed me another paper. "Who developed this mission statement?" I asked. "Everybody," he replied. "Everybody? Really, everybody?" "Yes." "Housekeepers?" "Yes." "Waitresses?" "Yes." "Desk clerks?" "Yes." "Do you want to see the mission statement written by the people who greeted you last night?" He pulled out a mission statement that they themselves had written, that was interwoven with all the other mission statements. Everyone at every level was involved. The mission statement for that hotel was the hub of a great wheel. It spawned the thoughtful, more specialized mission statements of particular groups of employees. It was used as the criterion for every decision that was made. It clarified what those people stood for, how they related to the customer, how they related to each other. It affected the style of the managers and the leaders. It affected the compensation system. It affected the kind of people they recruited and how they trained and developed them. Every aspect of that organization, essentially, was a function of that hub, that mission statement. I later visited another hotel in the same chain, and the first thing I did when I checked in was to ask to see their mission statement, which they promptly gave me. At this hotel, I came to understand the motto: uncompromising, personalized service. A little more. For a 3-day period, I watched every conceivable situation where service was called for. I always found that service was delivered in a very impressive, excellent way, but it was always also very personalized. For instance, in the swimming area, I asked the attendant where the drinking fountain was. He walked me to it. But the thing that impressed me the most was to see an employee on his own admit a mistake to his boss. We ordered room service and were told when it would be delivered to the room. On the way to our room, the room service person spilled the hot chocolate, and it took a few minutes extra to go back and change the linen on the tray and replace the drink. So the room service was about 15 minutes late, which was really not that important to us. Nevertheless, the next morning, the room service manager phoned us to apologize and invited us to have either the buffet breakfast or a room service breakfast, compliments of the hotel to in some way compensate for the inconvenience. What does it say about the culture of an organization when an employee admits his own mistake, unknown to anyone else, to the manager, so that customer or guest is better taken care of? As I told the manager of the first hotel I visited, I know a lot of companies with impressive mission statements, but there is a real difference, all the difference in the world, in the effectiveness of a mission statement created by everyone involved in the organization, and one written by a few top executives behind a mahogany wall. All right. One of the fundamental problems in organizations, including families, is that people are not committed to the determinations of other people for their lives. They simply don't buy into them. Many times, as I work with organizations, I find people whose goals are totally different from the goals of the enterprise. I commonly find reward systems completely out of alignment with stated value systems. When I begin work with companies that have already developed some kind of mission statement, I ask them, how many of the people here know that you have a mission statement? How many of you know what it contains? How many were involved in creating it? How many really buy into it and use it as your frame of reference in making decisions? Without involvement, there is no commitment. Mark it down, asterisk it, circle it, underline it. No involvement, no commitment. Now, in the early stages, when a person is new to an organization, or when a child in the family is young, you can pretty well give them a goal and they'll buy it, particularly if the relationship, orientation, and training are good. But when people become more mature and their own lives take on a separate meaning, they want involvement, significant involvement. And if they don't have that involvement, they don't buy it. Then you have a significant motivational problem which cannot be solved at the same level of thinking that created it. That's why creating an organizational mission statement takes time, patience, involvement, skill, and empathy. Again, it's not a quick fix. It takes time and sincerity, correct principles, and the courage and integrity to align systems, structure, and management style to the shared vision and values. But it's based on correct principles, and it works. An organizational mission statement, one that truly reflects the deep shared vision and values of everyone within that organization, creates a great unity and tremendous commitment. It creates in people's hearts and minds a frame of reference, a set of criteria or guidelines by which they will govern themselves. They don't need someone else directing, controlling, criticizing, or taking cheap shots. They have bought into the changeless core of what the organization is about. And this is the final page, and it's of course going to be a picture. Application success. So you make yourself a little chart, and on the left side you go area of activity. We got family, friends, work, church, community service, that kind of thing. And the next area is character, and then contributions and achievements. So take the time to record the impressions you had in the funeral visualization at the beginning of this chapter. You may want to use the chart below to organize your thoughts. Number 2, take a few moments and write down your roles as you now see them. Are you satisfied with that mirror image of your life? Number 3, set up time to completely separate yourself from daily activities and to begin work on your personal mission statement. Number 4, go through the chart in Appendix A showing different centers and circle all those you can identify with. Do they form a pattern for the behavior in your life? Are you comfortable with the implications of your analysis? Number 5, start a collection of notes, quotes, and ideas you may want to use as resource material in writing your personal mission statement. Number 6, identify a project you will be facing in the near future and apply the principle of mental creation. Write down the results you desire and what steps will lead to those results. And the final one, number 7, share the principles of Habit 2 with your family or work group and suggest that together you begin the process of developing a family or group mission statement. Thank you for being with me and letting me read to you. We have finished Habit 2. The next one will be Habit 3, put first things first. I appreciate you.